Ah, all right. Jay Baba, everyone. Welcome to January 1st, 2023. We we and what we do in this program is now does there anybody who did not get a quote? We should all have a quote from the Baba family, Mayor Baba family in your email. And we will read those. And we're also remarking that many of us, if you're on the Mayher Center mailing list, we got a different quote from them. So yay, lots of good. So I could just call on you as I guess there's no need to raise hands.
Betty?
Yes.
Jai Baba, this is Gohar.
Yes.
I'm traveling right now. I'm on the road. We did not get to see our grandchildren at Christmas, so we're going to see them today. So I may just get cut off because I don't know how good the signal is on these rural roads. So may I go first and read my
Please,
quote?
yes, please, yes. Where are you?
We're in South Florida, between the towns of Houston, where we live, and on the way to Miami.
Florida. Okay.
To visit with our children. I'm sorry, I have my laptop precariously perched on my lap, so bear with me.
You really made an effort. Go here. I'm so glad you want to go first. That's wonderful.
I did not want to miss this. So, okay. So here's the precious quote that was sent to me. Hang on one second. I just lost it. All right. Baba says, think of me more and more, and all your worries will dwindle into nothing, for they are really nothing, and my will works out to awaken this in you and in all. Jai Baba.
Nice quote.
Shall I read it again?
Please. Yes, please read it again.
Think of me more and more, and all your worries will dwindle into nothing, for they are really nothing, and my will works out to awaken this in you and in all. Jai Baba.
Oh, wonderful.
Beautiful, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it sort of ties into the quote from the center, which I thought was so interesting, because that also talks about longing.
Do you have that one?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Good. Yes, I do. I thought it was beautiful. That quote from the center is, the only real desire is to see God, and the only real longing is to become one with God. To desire the real desire and to long for the real longing, you need my grace, and you cannot have that until you surrender all desires and longings to me. Jai Baba. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
But it just so tied, it dovetailed into the quote I received, so I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
So that's good. Keep thinking of him. Keep him with you at all times. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Gohar. Wonderful way to start off. Thank you. Enjoy your grandkids. That's
Thank you. I will. We will. Yeah.
Irene, since you raised your hand, good for you. Yes.
I know, it's so easy to press that button, the hand button. So I'm going to read two. One is from Jack, and then I didn't get the one from the center, but my husband did, and I wanted to read his. So, so the one I got is if God were good rather than bad, or bad rather than good, or if he were small rather than great, or great rather than small, or if he were right rather than wrong, or wrong rather than right, if he were virtuous rather than evil, or evil rather than virtuous, or if he were happy rather than miserable, or miserable rather than happy, and here's the clincher, he would be finite and not infinite. Only by being above duality is God infinite. And At first I read it and I thought, why did I get this quote? But I've been thinking lately how, I don't know, it's so weird. It's like he really is God. And when you let that sink in, it just feels like so amazing. And I recently got gifted a photo of Baba, which is it just reeks of his youth when he was younger and powerful. And it said God, it just when I see it, I think I am really, really, really God. I am infinite. I don't know. It just really, it's so different hearing it in the intellect and feeling it in the heart. So then my husband's quote is much smaller, shorter. I want you to make me your constant companion. And of course, I love that because, I mean, that's what we're all striving for. And that just puts it, it just puts it so simple. And again, just that loving presence of God that really is my constant companion. So I love that, and I need that. So Jay Baba.
Could you read yours again? Both again?
Oh, okay. Oh boy. Okay.
That's quite a lengthy one.
It is. I guess it's really talking about, well, I'll read it, but God is not the duality. He's beyond it. And so that's so reassuring, that there's something deeper. So if God were good rather than bad, or bad rather than good, or if he were small rather than great, or great rather than small, or if he were right rather than wrong, or wrong rather than right, or if he were virtuous rather than evil, or evil rather than virtuous, or if he were happy rather than miserable, or miserable rather than happy, he would be finite and not infinite. Only by being above duality is God infinite. That just is so reassuring for me. And then the other one is, I want you to make me your constant companion. And he deserves to be the constant companion. He's God. So Jay Baba.
Thank you. Wonderful. Wow. No, did you get a quote from Hair Center?
I didn't. I looked.
Oh,
So that's why I stole my husband. He said it was okay.
Maybe you'll get one. I think everybody who was on their list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will contact them.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Betty. Thank you, everyone.
Jay Bob.
Jay Bob.
All right, we have John Ruiz next.
Jay Baba. This I got from the center. In your love for yourself, if it is your love for yourself that loses me and your love for God that finds me. In order to awaken me in your heart, you should always call out to me saying, Baba, Baba, continuously. Then I who am in your heart will not find any pleasure in remaining asleep, let alone sleep. I shall not find time to even doze. Yeah, I know this, but I don't do it. So it's a reminder to me, in everything, before everything, and during everything, to call out to Baba for help. And, it'll take time, but I've seen the result of it. Even if I drop a screw and I can't find it, it's like, Baba, help me find this. And all of a sudden the screw's in very easily. So, yes, it's one of those, I know it, I've heard it, I've written it, and I still don't do it in the timing Baba advises to be done. So that's enough out of me. Thank you.
But not quite. Would you read it one more time?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
It is your love for yourself that loses me, and your love for God that finds me. In order to awaken me in your heart, you should always call out to me saying, Baba, Baba, continuously. then I who am in your heart will not find any pleasure in remaining asleep. Let alone sleep, I shall not find even time to even doze.
Mm.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you, John. Okay. And now, Rosemary, actually, this raising hands it's it's a good way. So it's helpful to see who's ready as Rosemary is. J Baba Rosemary.
Hey, Baba. Everybody knows me as Rosie, but I don't know why that came up. But anyway,
Okay.
I raised my hand because I may have to leave you a little earlier. And so, as usual with the quote, as everything else, Baba is right on point for what his lovers need, specifically each one. He treats us like that, like he's the only one and we're the only one. So this message is from the center. And I once heard Baba use the words fierce determination.
Mm.
And those words resonated with me in an expression towards him. So my message from the center, which I'll read and you'll understand why it's right on point. Love cannot be born of mere determination. Through the exercise of will, one can, at best, be dutiful. A sense of duty comes to the individual as an external constraint on behavior. When, as in a sense of duty, love is predominantly impersonal, it often makes one cold, rigid, and mechanical. But in divine love, there is unrestrained freedom and unbounded spontaneity.
Wow. That's wonderful. Would you mind repeating it?
So he used the words fierce determination in terms of our attitude towards him. And he also said, if everyone leaves me, everyone, you should not leave me.
Wow.
But here's the quote from the center, right on point. Love cannot be born of mere determination. Through the exercise of will, one can, at best, be dutiful. A sense of duty comes to the individual as an external constraint on behavior. When, as in a sense of duty, love is predominantly impersonal, it often makes one cold, rigid, and mechanical. But in divine love, there is unrestrained freedom and unbounded spontaneity. Thank you.
Wow. I mean, I know we've all experienced a bit of that, and it's heaven. It's wonderful to be so full of love. Oh, thank you so much, Rosie. All right, J Baba. Let's see who's next. Ferris Day.
Jay Baba, good morning or evening, wherever you might be, and Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2023. I hear it's the year of hope. So, yay. I'm swimming in quotes.
Good.
I have one from Angela, one from the center, one I picked at the center last night. Personally, and I picked one for Jim and Anthony and Amanda and their girlfriend and boyfriend. So I'm swimming in quotes Only going to read you one, maybe two. So here's the one from the center. The true lover is born only at that moment when he dies for God. When one remains fully and completely resigned to the divine will of God, all service, sacrifice, solitude, seeking, and surrenderance merely symbolizes one's love for God. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful. Yeah, need to hear that again.
Mm-hmm. The true lover is born only at the moment when he dies for God. When one remains fully and completely resigned to the divine will of God, all service, sacrifice, solitude, seeking, and surrenderance merely symbolizes one's love for God. Jai Baba.
Wow.
Want to hear the other quote?
Yeah.
Myself from Jeff's Basket last night. It was a beautiful program on Center. We had a couple of lovely singers, poets, Billy Goodrum and Brian Darnell. Thank you, Jim. He's my memory bank. And Viola did an incredibly beautiful dance. She looked, I told her she was a vision of beauty and grace. Really was very beautiful. Okay, here we go. In the spiritual life, both good and bad sanskaras, or karmic imprints, express themselves and both get nullified. A spiritual life leads one toward naturalness, whereas a virtuous life, in the guise of humility, inflates the ego and perpetuates it. A spiritual life, though, is only led under the guidance and orders of the avatar or perfect master, who knows the pulse of everyone and treats everyone according to his or her particular malady. I love it.
Oh, we all have maladies.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And our cure is Meher Baba.
Okay, would you read that one again?
In the spiritual life, both good and bad sanskaras, or karmic imprints, express themselves and both get nullified. A spiritual life leads one toward naturalness, whereas a virtual life, in the guise of humility, inflates the ego and perpetuates it. A spiritual life, though, is only led under the guidance and orders of the avatar or perfect master, who knows the pulse of everyone and treats everyone according to his particular malady. M.S. Irani.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Ferris.
Yeah.
I thought you said melody, which I also like, rather than malady. I thought, oh, we have a melody, but then I realized it was malady. Anyway,
Both are,
The
yeah.
same thing. I did, Sappy. I thought the same thing.
All right. We have Gloria y Miguel. Let's see.
Yes, this is the quote I got with the like a mandala for illumination coloring. I think Jeff is the one that sent us.
That's right.
The lover need not worry about the quality of his love. He should love in spite of his weaknesses and not tarry till he can purify his own heart. The master is the very source of purity. And to set one's heart on the master is the beginning of self-purification. When the disciple has wholehearted devotion for the master, he opens himself to the reception of the divine love which the master pours upon him. All his weaknesses are consumed in this fire of divine love, of which he thus becomes the recipient. Jai Baba.
Oh, that's a that's a lengthy quote. What do you think? Can you read it again?
Sure. The lover need not worry about the quality of his love. He should love in spite of his weaknesses, and not tarry till he can purify his own heart. The master is the very source of purity, and to set one's heart on the master is the beginning of self-purification. When the disciple has wholehearted devotion for the master, he opens himself to the reception of the divine love which the master pours upon him. All his weaknesses are consumed on this fire of divine love, of which he thus becomes the recipient. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Oh, thank you, Miguel. That's
Sure.
wonderful. Does Gloria have a quote? A different or no?
It's a different, yes.
Yeah,
Personal. We're not the same.
that's right.
We have
We are
different
not
maladies.
aware. Different and different kind of love also.
Work.
Work. Okay, mine is different, completely different. While doing my work, if a position is created, the worker must not get upset. He must not submit to the opponents. He should not get caught in the trap. He must not humor them. None of these acts showing weakness must be done. What is required is that the worker not become angry with the opponents.
Okay. Can you read that again? I didn't get that word. Opponents. Yeah, you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Opponents, okay. Sorry for my pronunciation. While doing my work, if a position is created, the worker must not get upset. He must not submit to the opponents. He should not get caught in the trap. He must not humor them. None of these acts showing weakness must be done. What is required is that the worker not become angry with the opponents.
Wow, that's interesting. Very different. Wow. I hope, I don't know if it holds true in your life. Okay. Well,
Completely.
Yes,
Yeah.
much.
yeah.
Just,
For her.
yeah,
Always doing things for others.
yeah, it's my karma yoga.
And Miguel knows.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks you too, Jay Baba. Let's see. We go to William Byers. Jay Baba, William.
Hey, Baba, Happy New Year.
To you too.
I don't think I've ever seen this quote from Baba in my 50 years of Baba following. And here it is: without adversity, there is no rest. In hardship and sorrow, be grateful and at peace. In distress, always keep content. Have patience, and at all times be at ease. I'll read that again. Without adversity, there is no rest. In hardship and sorrow, be grateful and at peace. In distress, always keep content, have patience, and at all times be at ease. To me, the most interesting part of it is the first sentence. Without adversity, there is no rest. To me, that says if we don't have adversity, we look for it. We seek it out. And to me, Baba is saying here, if we have adversity, then that's a reason to be at peace, because we no longer have to look for it. We have already got it.
I was thinking about that too, that first line. Yeah, the opposites are necessary in life too. Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, William. Jai Baba. Okay, here we go. Sue. Oops, let's see.
There.
There you go.
Can,
There you go.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't heard this quote ever, but it's very timely for me. It's like I'm being called on the carpet. So here goes. From time to time, the instrument has to be cleansed and set right. In the same way, the aspirant, who during his work has developed new problems, entanglements, and shelters for the personal ego, has to be put into working order so that he can move ahead. And out of several quotes I got, this is the first one I read. And at this time in my life, I'm in a rut. And while I absolutely think of Baba every day, I will very easily get distracted, get hooked on Maya. It just can be anything. And I think getting in a rut, which would be repetitive behavior, repetitive actions, would be definitely something that can develop the ego, where you're just constantly in a rut with Maya. And so, to me, this was very, very interesting. And it also makes me think about, I do think of Baba throughout the day, but then I think, well, if that's the case, where is the imbalance here? Where's the lack of honesty? What am I not addressing that needs to be addressed instead of easily getting hooked into the Maya side of things? So there's some reflection on that particular quote for me.
Thank you, Sue. I I long for a rut. My life is so chaotic right now. We're moving, and that's always that'll get you out of a rut. Could you read yours again?
Sure. From time to time, the instrument has to be cleansed and set right. In the same way, the aspirant, who during his work has developed new problems, entanglements, and shelters for the personal ego, has to be put into working order so that he can move ahead. Mayor Baba.
It's just wonderful to think of us being put into working order. Well, thank you. All right.
Jai Baba.
And we have Kathy. Let's see, you are muted.
Mute myself. How's that? Happy New Year. I really liked this quote a lot, and this is one of Jeff's. Try always to remember me and to speak to me. This is the best beginning, the determination to be ready to receive the Master's grace. If this continues, a day will come when you will be lucky and to receive the great gift, the bestowal of my love. To be ready, perpetuate this feeling in your heart, increase it, make it deeper and deeper. And this is perfect because it's what I've been trying to do, it's what I've been practicing. I don't know how successful I am yet, but it's a good reminder.
Could you read it again?
Sure. And I wish I could tell you what that word is, like lucky. Oh, lucky one. Okay, I can't even read my own writing, right? Okay, here we go. Try always to remember me and to speak to me. This is the best beginning, the determination to be ready to receive the Master's grace. If this continues, a day will come when you will be lucky, the lucky one to receive the great gift, the bestowal of my love. To be ready, perpetuate this feeling in your heart, increase it, make it deeper and deeper. Jai Baba.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kathy. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, Jay Baba. We'll go to Wendy.
There we go. Okay. When desires arise, oh, this is from Jeff. Sorry. Did I do it?
Baba. They're from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's coming up here. Am I muted?
oh, let's see. Oh, I spotlight, I'll unspotlight you. You're still on. Yeah, sorry.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This came from Jeff, but of course from Baba. And Happy New Year, everyone. When desires arise and their release into action is barred, there is plenty of opportunity for spontaneous cognition. I'm not familiar with that word. I know what it means now, but I've never used it. About
Cogitation.
yes. Yeah, think right. About these desires. The cogitation results in the wearing out of the corresponding sanskaras. And I do have kind of a hamster wheel going on sometimes for sure. And so this is a good reminder to not get too caught in that, but just not to speak too soon. Just keep honorable silence. Shall I read it again or? Okay.
Yeah.
When desires arise and their release into action is barred, there is plenty of opportunity for spontaneous cogitation about these desires. This cogitation results in the wearing out of the corresponding sanskaras. And I really hope that happens. Jai Baba.
Wendy, would you mind reading again, please?
Sure. When desires arise and their release into action is barred, there is plenty of opportunity for spontaneous cogitation about these desires. This cogitation results in the wearing out of the corresponding sanskaras. I'm going to practice that word. I'm going to make that new word of the week.
Cogitation.
Cogitation. Okay. Thank you.
Wendy's coming to us from Ontario, Canada.
Betty,
Yes.
this is Sue again, Sue Lerner, and I just read a minute ago, but I wondered if anybody else had any thoughts on the quote that I read, and I'll reread it right now, but I am curious what other people's perception may be. I hate to interrupt, but I am curious if anybody has any comment. The quote was, "From time to time, the instrument has to be cleansed and set right. In the same way, the aspirant, who during his work has developed new problems, entanglements, and shelters for the personal ego, has to be put into working order so that he can move ahead." If anybody has any comments, I just was curious. And if not, that's fine.
Looks like Michelle has a comment.
I think Baba uses illness for that.
Oh,
And he brings us to the edge. And as Marvin's nurses said, when he takes us to the edge, that's when the grace comes in.
interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, Jai Baba.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else have a comment? All right.
Humiliations might be another method. Humiliations.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, please, yeah, feel free to comment. It's nice. It's a helpful when somebody's after somebody has spoken their quote. All right, we'll go on now to Diane and Terry.
Jai Baba, Happy New Year, everyone. Some people we had the pleasure of hugging in person this week. So Terry's going to go first with her Baba Zoom quote.
So I got a few. One of them is kind of intense and one of them is a little lighter. So I thought I would read the heavier one first and then read the lighter one after. People cry out, suffer, complain about injustice and all things because they are unaware of the law. According to the law that governs the universe, all suffering is your labor of love to unveil your real self. Do not fear suffering or blame anyone for it. The root cause of every good result is suffering.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm going to read it again.
Please.
People cry out, suffer, complain about injustice and all things because they are unaware of the law. According to the law that governs the universe, all suffering is your labor of love to unveil your real self. Do not fear suffering or blame anyone for it. The root cause of every good result is suffering.
How about if I read mine?
Yeah, you can.
We're going to go back and forth.
Okay. Oh, good.
So this is from Jeff and Baba Zoom. When true love is awakened in man, it leads him to the realization of God and opens up an unlimited field of lasting and unfading happiness. The happiness of God realization is the goal of all creation. It is not possible for a person to have the slightest idea of that inexpressible happiness without actually having the experience of Godhood. The idea which the worldly man has of suffering or happiness is entirely limited. The real happiness which comes through realizing God is worth all the physical and mental suffering in the universe.
It's kind of similar, you know.
Wow. Yeah. Can you read that one again, Diane?
Sure. When true love is awakened in man, it leads him to the realization of God and opens up an unlimited field of lasting and unfading happiness. The happiness of God realization is the goal of all creation. It is not possible for a person to have the slightest idea of that inexpressible happiness without actually having the experience of Godhood. The idea which the worldly man has of suffering or happiness is entirely limited. The real happiness, which comes through realizing God, is worth all the physical and mental suffering in the universe.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, really great. I think that, you know, right now we just got back from Myrtle Beach, so we're kind of blissed out. But life is, you know, every time people talk to me about, you know, suffering and not being, you know, it's part of living, you know. I don't even complain anymore, except when I get a big old mosquito bite that I'm allergic to in Myrtle Beach. But other than that.
Put it this way, she could show it to you on Zoom and you would see
it. It's huge. It swelled up really big time.
Yes, Nurse Ruthie.
Yeah, but it was, you know, I tell people all the time that being with God doesn't mean that you have just a smooth road. We were told years ago by a rabbi friend of ours that people from his community would come up and say, why is it so, you know, the ups and the downs? And his mother was on her way out to Baba, and he went to the hospital to hang with her and hold her hand. And he was sitting there and he was watching the monitor, the heart monitor, go up and down. And it like came to him that like the reality is that's life. If you don't have the ups and downs, you know, and life is like this, you're dead, you know? So we've always kept that lesson inside of us, you know, and we all suffer to one degree or another. If people don't, there's something wrong there somewhere. So I'm going to read you this quote because it's a little bit, it's a little lighter. Love me wholeheartedly. That is the only thing. Love me, love me, love me, and you will find me. Jai Baba.
That's
Again, read it again.
Love me wholeheartedly. That is the only thing. Love me, love, and you will find me. Jai Baba.
And I have one from the center that was sent to the two of us, and it's very short, and it's got a picture of Baba in the lagoon cabin. So we are very, very feeling that. What more can you do for the beloved? I want love, nothing else. Love me and let God love us. That is what I want. Mera Baba. Hey, Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Beautiful, you two. Thank you.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay, we're moving on to Mayor Prasad.
Jai Baba. You know, I like that in that quote, Baba says both happiness and suffering are limited. So it helps to remember that the suffering is limited. All right. So I have the quote from Baba Zoom, which is actually something I have not heard before. In spiritual matters, as in mundane matters, greater and unerring spiritual knowledge means economy of energy and time. M.S. Irani. I'll read that again. In spiritual matters, as in mundane matters, greater and unerring spiritual knowledge means economy of energy and time. And I have the quote from Meher Center. Divine love does not require any special type of context for making itself felt. It discovers its expression in every incident and situation that might be passed over by an unenlightened person as too insignificant to deserve attention. I'll read it again. Divine love does not require any special type of context for making itself felt. It discovers its expression in every incident and situation that might be passed over by an unenlightened person as too insignificant to deserve attention. Jai Baba.
Wonderful. Both beautiful quotes. I don't, did you have any thought, any comment, or actually not necessary, they're great as they are, but
I don't know, I have to muse on the first quote. I've never come across that quote, so.
efficiency of what's the title?
Economy of energy and time.
All right, thank you, Mayor Prasad. We'll go to Seppi now. Let's see, Seppi, you're muted. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is the one from Jeff and from Baba Zoom and from Baba, of course. And Happy New Year, everyone. This is a lovely one. I love it. And I was just talking about this. When you love anyone, it is I whom you love. When anyone loves you, it is I who love you. I'm in all things. And the one I got from the center, I also got the same one as Terry, the other love one, but that was another one. I don't know from quotes. I think we all probably got that one. But this is from the Mayher Center. In the life of perfect action, the mind is not allowed to be immersed in the material life of gnawing wants, nor is it allowed to be merged in spiritual bliss. It is used to tackle the problem of life from the point of view of spiritual understanding. Not sure what I think of that one or how I quite understand that one.
Can
The
you
other one.
read it again?
Yeah, in the life of perfect action, the mind is not allowed to be immersed in the material life of gnawing wants, nor is it allowed to be merged in spiritual bliss. It's used to tackle the problem of life from the point of view of spiritual understanding.
Wow, that is something to think about. Wow.
With the other quote, I did have, I'm usually half full glass, but I did sort of think, I loved it. And then I thought, oh, hold on a minute, which was this one? When you love anyone, it's I whom you love. When anyone loves you, it's I who love you. I'm in all things. And I thought, well, what if I don't love someone? Does that mean I don't love Baba? And if somebody doesn't love me, does that mean Baba doesn't love me? As he's in all things, I don't know. Hopefully there's not too many of those people either way. But anyway.
You just have to love everybody. So
that's it. But there are some who may not love me. I'm not in control of that.
They say you don't have to like he says you don't have to like everybody, but love everybody.
Yeah.
I love that quote, though. I love that quote because it's hard for me to sometimes feel, do I really love Baba? How much do I love Baba? But I can feel how much I love my husband, my friends, my family, my dog. And to know that that's Baba. And when I can feel their love, I think, oh my God, that's Baba. So I love that one. Thank you.
Did you have something to say?
I would also just it makes me think that all of these situations are opportunities, and they're all connected to whatever our sanskaras might be, so that, and our ego, our ego is responding when we think, oh my gosh, somebody might not love me, or I can't tolerate that person, and oh my goodness. And I just think they're opportunities for us to get around and burn off certain sanskaras when we can recognize our reaction to something, and at the same time make the adjustments that Baba would have us make, perhaps. It's just a thought. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba. Okay, we'll go to Marvin and Michelle.
Jay Baba, Marvin just stepped out, so it'll be just me for now. We'll circle back around for him. He got a call. So this first quote is from, where is it? Oh, he's back. This is from Baba Zoom family. As a tree is judged not by the size, but by the quality of its fruits, so a person's worth should be judged not by his talents, but by the use he makes of them.
Very good. Say it again.
As a tree is judged not by the size, but the quality of its fruits, so a person's worth should be judged not by his talents, but by the use he makes of them. Jai Baba.
Great. Thank you.
I have another one. You can read yours and we'll go back and forth.
All right, mine is tailor-made. Stick to me means keep me pleased at the cost of your own comforts and pleasures. It means to remain resigned to my will, whether you keep good health or bad, whether you make money or lose it, whether you gain name or fame, or become the laughing stock of others.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, that takes Sue's quote deeper to the where who was it? Somebody said, "Oh, or humiliation."
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Can you read it again, Marvin?
No.
Oh, you're funny.
To stick to me means to keep me pleased at the cost of your own comforts and pleasures. It means to remain resigned to my will, whether you keep good health or bad, whether you make money or lose it, whether you gain fame and name or become the laughing stock of others.
Wow. Michelle, did you have another one?
Ouch.
I do. I have one from the center. I don't know if he got one, but moral courage and self-confidence should be accompanied by freedom from worry. There are very few things in the mind that eat up as much energy as worry. It is one of the most difficult things not to worry about anything. Let me read that again. Moral courage and self-confidence should be accompanied by freedom from worry. There are very few things in the mind that eat up as much energy as worry. It is one of the most difficult things not to worry about anything. And we could say that. And there's a really great quote on 2012's calendar, January 2012. Feelings and emotions are only the creation of mind and energy. Love is the creation of the soul. Feelings and emotions are only the creation of the mind and energy. Love is a creation of the soul. Jai Baba, Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that one in, Michelle. That's wonderful. All right, Jai Baba, we're moving on now to Susan.
Jai Bob, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm reading the quote that I got through Baba Zoom, and it's heavy. So listen carefully. The divine will that brought forth this infinite illusion expresses itself in all its purity through me to make you turn away from illusion toward God consciousness. Every moment I respond to the whole of creation. My response, being divine, is wholly from love. So one reason this blows my mind is that it seems to me that there are two different points that are being put together and are almost contradictory. One is turning away from illusion toward God consciousness, which for me, I mean, in the present, maybe I'm in the process of turning, but I'm certainly not there yet. And the other, which is something in the future. But the other point is that God loves all of creation every single moment. And at every single moment, we're not all God realized. So it's like he's saying, you know, he loves us all exactly the way that we are at every single moment. And putting those two together is it's just mind-blowing for me.
Thank you, Susan. Wow. Anybody else have a comment about that? All right. Thank you so much, Susan. Did you have another one that you wanted to read or no? No hand. Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Jai Baba. And now we have Sally.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Sally.
Jai Baba, everybody. Happy New Year to all. And the quote I have is the one I got from Jeff, I believe, in my email. So in this quote, Baba says, the best way to cleanse the heart and to prepare for the stilling of the mind is to lead a normal life in the world. Living the midst of your day-to-day duties, responsibilities, likes and dislikes becomes the very means for the purification of your heart. Jai Baba.
Wonderful. Can you read it again, Sally?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay? We are in the car. We're driving from Myrtle Beach back home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, full of bliss. Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, all right, here it goes. The best way to cleanse the heart and to prepare for the stilling of the mind is to lead a normal life in the world. Living the midst of your day-to-day duties, responsibilities, likes and dislikes becomes the very means for the purification of your heart. I guess that's what we're trying to do every day.
Teacher Sally, living day-to-day life. Wonderful. Loving all those kids. Thank you, Sally. Jai Baba. Jai Baba Prakash.
Jai Baba, thank you.
All right, we go to Diana.
Jai Baba to you all. I have two quotes. Neither one is very long. And the first one is from the center. The first one that I'll read. When you begin to feed the ego with the help of the mind and you feel resentment or excitement approaching, start laughing, start dancing, go outside for a moment until the mind is under control, but control at all costs.
Wow. Can you read that?
Sure. When you begin to feed the ego with the help of the mind and you feel resentment or excitement approaching, start laughing, start dancing, go outside for a moment until the mind is under control, but control at all costs. So I just love that advice from the avatar to laugh, dance, and go outside to deal with the ego. I love that. The other quote was from Baba Zoom. As a laundryman washes and cleanses clothes, in the same way, I remove all the dirt which has stuck to you through your thoughts and actions. So there's the avatar as the laundryman. As a laundryman washes and cleanses clothes, in the same way, I remove all the dirt which has stuck to you through your thoughts and actions.
Diana, that reminds me of what I say quite frequently. I feel like I'm in this washing machine on the heavy duty cycle and waiting for the fluff cycle. Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
It rinses it off.
Yeah. Jai-ba.
Oh, thank you, Diana. Those were great. Wow. All righty, we will move on to Keldwin.
Thank you. I'm really glad you guys are doing this. I know your faults and your virtues, and I will strengthen your virtues and help you to remove your weaknesses. It's simple and necessary.
How about saying it again?
I know your faults and your virtues, and I will strengthen your virtues and help you to remove your weaknesses.
Boy, simply said. Oh, wow, that's wonderful.
Sweet and simple, right?
Oh, it's wonderful to see you in your studio, Keldwin. It's
Thank
fun.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Did you get another one from the center maybe or no?
I did, but I can't find it. I can't do two things at once,
Yeah.
Zoom it and find it. Sorry.
This was absolutely.
One just arrived, so whichever one that was, I think that was the Baba Zoom one, right?
I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, well, anyway.
It was a good one.
Yeah. Good to see you all.
Thank you, Kelton. Marion.
Hi, thank you, everyone. I have a very short quote. I didn't go on my computer this morning, so I don't know if I got any from anywhere, Zoom or the center or any place. I usually do get a quote every year, but it fits in with what my theme is for my very brief quote, and that is where I have expectations. And I was instructed many, many years ago that all expectations lead to disappointment and pain. I said, well, can't I have one expectation? And this very wise teacher said, yes, and it will lead to disappointment and pain. And so that's different than going about and fulfilling real needs and finding a way to fulfill real needs. Expectations are kind of a demand that people, things show up the way I want, and they don't. And so I'm considering in myself in my new life these days. I've been through a lot of trauma. Now I'm entering this new phase and it's all weird. So when I had in my calendar this morning to go on Baba Zoom, it wasn't this. I had something else in there. So this was all a big surprise. So everything's very weird in my life, my new life. So this is a picture of Baba. It hangs on my bookshelf by my desk. It's been there for decades. Someone made it for me. And it fits in right with this one about expectations. Because nobody shows up the way I want them to be, because I expect every human to be perfect. And boy, am I let down. So, love the one in the many, not the many in the one. I am the only friend who will never let you down.
Perfect.
Okay, Baba.
Can you say that again, Mary?
Yes. Love the one in the many, not the many in the one. I am the only friend who will never let you down. Meher Baba.
That says it. Great. Oh, thank you, Marion. And now we go to Heidi.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year.
Hey, Baba.
It's good to be here, Jay Baba. So this was personal, very personal for me. I'll share it. I've been in the process of cleaning up Hurricane Ian debris back in the house that we go to in the winter in Florida, our house. And it's still standing. We're very fortunate. But Baba was with me to, the quote from the center, I kept saying to myself before I got the quote, as I was cleaning up the debris for hours and hours, and I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm too old to do, I can't do this. And I kept hearing Baba say, no, just keep going. I'm with you. And the quote from the center was, do not lose heart. Keep me in your heart. And remember, I'm always with you. And that was beautiful and gave me energy. And the other quote from Baba Zoom was kind of nice. So I'm always feeling I'm not devoted enough. So here it is. I am deeply touched by your devotion, and I am proud of the hearts that contain such love and loyalty and help you to remove your weaknesses.
Beautiful. Can you repeat them?
Yeah. I am deeply touched by your devotion, and I am proud of the hearts that contain such love and loyalty and help you to remove your weaknesses.
Beautiful.
Jai Baba.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you. Good luck with that. Oh, Lord, that's...
It's all right. It's, as you clean, I was cleaning the debris, I was thinking to myself, this was like the second layer, because where we are, I had to find someone and pay someone to do the initial layer because they were moving things out. and it was really, really difficult. But as I was cleaning this round, I thought to my, there's more there. There's like another layer. And I thought to myself, oh my God, it's like cleaning up scars. Like, you know, it's like, and it's not just my scars, it's the tree scars, and it's all the debris, everything. And I was like, don't get overwhelmed. And I could feel Baba say, I'm with you. This is, you're getting a good picture of this for a reason. I don't know what the reason is just yet, but I wasn't really overwhelmed. I was able to be with it because, you know, normally I think a human reaction to all this junk and scars is to oh, pass by quickly or let, you know, get away from it. But for some reason, it had a higher purpose to it, to be in it and be part of cleaning it up. And I was by myself and I was sweating like I never sweat that. And it wasn't hot here. It was just the work. And I thought, you can do this. And I'm almost 70 years old. I can't do this. Yes, you can do it. You have to. You have no choice. You have to. And it seemed like time had stopped in a way. And it was done. I mean, I kept going and going. But to be in it and see all of this debris, I could feel, God, what Baba must go through. This was just a little teeny part of the universe. My God, the layers and layers. So anyway, we're fortunate, all of us, to be able to, you know, be able to be in our stuff, to have Baba let it go and surrender to it, let him let it go, and to have Baba. So I felt really
Absolutely.
we have Baba in facing all of our debris, right?
That's right. Oh,
We
thank you.
can't, we can't get it any better.
Yeah. Oh,
Jai Baba.
wow. I really, really resonate with that. Thank you, Heidi.
Jai Baba.
Okay. It's, it's Ruthie.
Hey, Baba. Happy New Year, everyone. Glad to be here. Well, oops, let's see. I'll read the one that I got first, which was from the center. It says, the most practical thing in the world is to be spiritual minded. It needs no special time, place, or circumstance. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll read it again.
You want to say it again, Ruthie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The most practical thing in the world is to be spiritual minded. It needs no special time, place, or circumstance.
Amen. Wow.
Amen, sister. And then the other one is from Baba Zoom and Jeff's selections of Meher Baba's words. In our everyday life of worldly duties, if love, service, honesty is manifested, renunciation is achieved without renouncing the world. Let me read it again. In our everyday life of worldly duties, if love, service, honesty is manifested, renunciation is achieved without renouncing the world. Love for God automatically and naturally results in self-denial, mental control, and ego annihilation, irrespective of the lover's following or renouncing external forms. Yeah. In our everyday life of worldly duties, if love, service, honesty is manifested, renunciation is achieved without renouncing the world. Love for God automatically and naturally results in self-denial, mental control, and ego annihilation, irrespective of the lover's following or renouncing external forms.
Wow.
In the world, but not of it, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, Ruthie. Wow.
I got one more, and
Okay.
it came from north somewhere. Let's see. It is from John Mayer, a Baba quote I get every week. Love me wholeheartedly. That is the only thing. Love me, love me, love me, and you will find me. Say Baba.
Beautiful. Wow, that's wonderful. All of them. Thank you, Ruthie. They were
Yeah.
wonderful.
I just wanted to say, it seemed to me that what my quotes were talking about was being practical in the sense of the world and my life in the world, and that keeping my eyes on the prize will help to clean my heart, will, polish my heart of all the impurities that cling. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Wonderful, Ruthie. All right, and now it's Marcia.
Hi, everyone. My quote, true culture is the result of spiritual values assimilated into life. Therefore, you must keep before you the ideal of that spiritual culture which once developed imparts life and beauty to all undertakings, educational, technical, industrial, social, moral, and political, and pierces through their differences to produce unity. This results in the development of the higher character in the life of a nation or individual.
Want to say it again?
Sure. True culture is the result of spiritual values assimilated into life. Therefore, you must keep before you the ideal of that spiritual culture which once developed imparts life and beauty to all undertakings, educational, technical, industrial, social, moral, and political, and pierces through their differences to produce unity. This results in the development of the highest character in the life of a nation or individual. I had another quote I saw somewhere, but I have to look for it, so I'll be back.
Are you on the Mayor Center list, Marcia? Do you get mayors? That might be where it's from. They send out quotes to and they're a Mayor Center emails. Well, while you're looking, let's Wendy has a hand up. Nope. Oh, okay. She doesn't have a hand up.
No, I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. No, Sue does. Sue.
I just now popped it up. I have one other quote that I'd like to share. True love means the dedication of oneself or the complete surrender of oneself to the beloved. It seeks the happiness of the beloved without the least desire of obtaining happiness from the beloved. To please him, the beloved, is to know him. There is no other knowing. Feeling is not knowing. I found that last sentence like, oh, what are we saying here? I'm like, so anyway, that's it. Yeah.
Can you say it again, Sue?
Yes, yes. True love means the dedication of oneself or the complete surrender of oneself to the beloved. It seeks the happiness of the beloved without the least desire of obtaining happiness from the beloved. To please him, the beloved, is to know him. There is no other knowing. Feeling is not knowing. Comments, anybody? I found it's like enigmatic, that last sentence. It's like, what?
Yeah, makes you pause, doesn't it? I agree.
So, Jai Baba, Happy New Year, everybody.
Jai Baba, Sue. Thank you.
Thank
you. Know, I need to read a quote. I realized. Okay, so my quote from Baba Zoom is, if the aspirant is to love and serve the world, which does not understand him or even is intolerant toward him, he must develop infinite forbearance. Spiritual effort demands not only physical endurance and courage, but also unshrinking forbearance and assailable moral courage. This supreme moral courage can only come with supreme confidence in oneself and the master. So I'll read it again. If the aspirant is to love and serve the world which does not understand him or even is intolerant toward him, he must develop infinite forbearance. Spiritual effort demands not only physical endurance and courage, but also unshrinking forbearance and unassailable moral courage. This supreme moral courage can only come with supreme confidence in oneself and the master. Wow, that's a heavy charge. I feel like, wow, to live up to courageous forbearance and courage.
That's a good one, Betty.
Mhm. I also have one from Meher Center, which is a little sweeter. It's or less, this is a challenge. This first one is just a challenge. Wow, courage and forbearance. Okay. If divine love does not require any special type of context for making itself felt, it discovers its expression in every incident and situation that might be passed over by an unenlightened person as too insignificant to deserve attention. Somebody else here read that quote. I get mad. This is from the center. Divine love does not require any special type of context, but for making itself felt. It discovers its expression in every incident and situation that might be passed over by an unenlightened person as too insignificant to deserve attention. I just love that Baba appears in the little things, small things and big. Yep, yeah. And as far as courage, I have to take a breath here. I'll aspire to courage and forbearance. So do we have any other thoughts or contributions or wow. I haven't ever attended one of these quote sessions. I just I figure, oh, I've always thought, well, I can just read them. But wow, listening to people read them and sort of muse on them is really a deepening experience for sure. I'm really appreciating all of you. Baba. So, are you waving goodbye, Wendy? Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, we have someone on the line. I bet it's Marilyn. Is that you, Marilyn? With a hand raised on the phone?
Yes, Betty. Jay Baba. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I was listening at the very beginning, and then I went from being here at the center. I went from the barn, RT, then I went to Baba's house, and I think the last one I heard was Rosie, and then I left it on. I said, I'll just leave it on and go to Baba's house, and it was very sweet. So I came out, and now I just heard you were asking. So I have something. Let's see. Actually, this was the New Year's quote that I pulled out at the center after the New Year. So it goes like this.
when you love, you give. And when you fall in love, you want. MS Irani, that's what it says.
Oh my
When
goodness.
you love, I'll say it again, when you love, you give. And when you, quote unquote, fall in love, you want. And that's Baba's words. The one that I got from Baba's Zoom quote, I didn't pull that one up. So I figured I'd just read this one. It's short and sweet, I guess. And I loved yours. That is really loaded. The first one, the courage and the forbearance, it's loaded. Wow.
You pulling yours up now, Marilyn? Oh.
I could try. I don't know if I can. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it.
I don't think I could do. I'm terrible on a phone, so I sympathize.
I have a comment about that quote. I was thinking of the one she just read about when you love, you give. When you fall in love, you want. And Erich would say, when you fall in love, you have to rise in love. So perhaps that's like an explanation of what that quote really means. So, Jai Baba.
Oh, great, Michelle. Yeah, when you fall in love, you have to rise in love. Wow. I mean, it's saving you. Yeah, it's not enough just to fall in love. Yeah, that's a more active thing to do, to rise. Hey, Marilyn, it's okay. Don't stress over it.
No, wait, I'm looking.
Okay.
I think I have it.
Yeah.
I thought it was Monday today. I'm like, I said, happened here.
Oh, gosh, I found it. Are you ready for this one, Baba Kadaji?
We're ready. We're ready.
Ages, okay. Ages have made the mind so dirty that it is quite hard for it to be pure and honest. It is the mind's nature to doubt, to reason, to be happy, to be sick, to be sore, and so forth. Had it not been its nature, there would have been no need for birth after birth. Imagination has created all this, and the world is so ensnared in it. It is as if bogged down in mire, M-I-R-E, and
Mire.
extrication. What?
Mire.
Mire, sorry. And extrication from the morass becomes impossible.
Wow.
There is only one remedy for it. There is only one remedy for it. Honest love for God and help from a perfect master. There is only one remedy for it. Honest love for God and help from a perfect master. Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jai. That's it.
Now, will you read it again? Or is that
okay? It was hard because the print is so small, so I was enlarging it, and so you said that word. Okay, down in mirror. Okay, ages have made the mind so dirty that it is quite hard for it to be pure and honest. It is the mind's nature to doubt, to reason, to be happy, to be sick, to be sore, and so forth. Had it not been its nature, there would have been no need for birth after birth. imagination has created all this, and the world is so ensnared in it. It is as if bogged down in mirror, and extrication from the morass becomes impossible. There is only one remedy for it: honest love for God and help from a perfect master. Avatar Mayor Baba Ki.
Wow. That's very, weighty.
Well,
Thank you.
yours was loaded too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Jai
Baba,
Baba. Happy New
yeah,
Year to you all.
Avatar. He really, he spans the gamut from sweet lightness to intense. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Marilyn, from wherever you are. Are you at the center now?
Right now, I just drove to the barn, and I was thinking, now that everybody's gone from the barn, you know, it's New Year's, and I don't feel like leaving. So, and the sun is shining through the trees. It's very glorious.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I always carry my Baba family with me. So,
Thank you.
putting you at his feet. Yes, indeed. I'll go into the barn for a little bit now.
All right.
Is there anyone else who's going to share?
Gail's coming on. She'll
Oh, then I'll wait.
All right.
I'll walk to the barn and listen to Gail.
All right, Gail.
How's that?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Happy
Good
New Year.
afternoon, Good evening.
You have
As
a
you
little
can
bit of
see-
some. Yeah.
As you can see that I have my candle last night when we talked to Vesta. It just came to me, though I'm not Catholic, it would be a good reminder to have a candle to remember all our loved ones, not just Vesta, who's in tremendous pain, Elena, who is making progress, but still needs support, Baba's support and prayers. And Vesta said she could just feel our support. But we've got Michelle, who's getting better. We've got Marge, who's improving, and just many, many of us. And you can name those in your heart. So I've stopped on the way to work this morning and got a candle. I had a candle at home last night. But I do have two sweet poems, and y'all know I have to go off. Can't see me while I read. Here's a dear one. The book that I shall make people read is the book of the heart, which holds the key to the mystery of life. Meher Baba. And the other, which is short and sweet. No amount of prayer or meditation can do what helping others can do. Meher Baba.
They're both precious. Can you read them again?
I can, but not, let's see. No amount of prayer or meditation can do what helping others can do. And then the first one was the book that I shall make people read is the book of the heart, which holds the key to the mystery of life. Two really sweet ones. Jai Baba to one and all. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Gail. So sweet to see you there with that candle. Very nice. Oh, well, I think we have kind of come to the end of our quote sharing, unless somebody has a last minute thought or something to say. So we'll close with 3 Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jays on this January 1st, 2023. Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jay. Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jay.
Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jay.
Wonderful.
I see Dinko just arrived. Maybe she has a quote.
Shanti. No.
Where is she?
She's there.
Hi.
Thank you. Jai Baba.
Hi, Jai Baba. Happy New Year. Yeah, I do have a quote. I'm sorry, but I just saw Diane's message saying that the Zoom meeting was on. I guess I'm late.
You are just in time. We were just going to close, but if you've got a quote, we want to hear it.
Sure. Well, my quote was, the human mind has in it an inborn tendency to try to restore to itself a deep and unshakable faith in the intrinsic sanity and value of life. Except where artificial resistances are created, it finds acceptable those explanations that are in conformity with this deeper law of the spirit. Oh, I have to read this a couple of times.
Yes, please.
Now for myself too, for it to sink in. The human mind has in it an inborn tendency to try to restore to itself a deeper and unshakable faith in the intrinsic sanity and value of life. Except where artificial resistances are created, it finds acceptable those explanations that are in conformity with this deeper law of spirit.
Wonderful. Wow. That's a great one, Dinku. I like that one.
Yeah, it's great. It's really deep and profound.
Yes, we're seekers. We're all seekers. We're seeking truth. Whoops, that's my cat. Sorry.
Sorry, I missed all the other quotes, but
It's all recorded. You'll be able to play it back shortly. It's been
Okay.
great. It really
I'm
has
sorry?
been wonderful. It's been wonderful to hear all these. Oh, looks like Marilyn has something more to say. Marilyn?
Hey, Jay Baba. So I came over here. I'm just sitting in front of the barn on the little bench, listening to you. It's so sweet. So I place you all here in his heart, and I wanted to read this to you for the new year. It's something there Baba wrote. I read it this morning, and I think I read it yesterday on the Baba Zoom RT. Oh, glorious one of the two worlds, unequaled, matchless, protector of the whole world. Oh, the giver of mercies, the protector of slaves. I have a prayer to be placed at your feet or at the altar where you are, that you may grant me the following things: good thoughts, good words, good deeds, so that, excuse me, so that I may see you, I may feel you, to the extent of your perfection, I may realize you as you are. Meher Baba.
Oh
Meher
my.
Baba wrote that.
Yeah. Which it's almost like a Zoroastrian prayer. Could you read it
I
again?
don't know the context in which he wrote it, because my friends, Teresa Kaiser, who's no longer with us, and Michael Kaiser, I went to India with them the very first time. Actually, I met them in Bombay. It was very sweet. And we became very good friends. And I know she was always going back and forth to India anyway. On a little piece of beautiful white paper, she had placed another piece of paper where this was typed up so beautifully, this quote. And I've always kept it, but I don't know in which, I can't remember how Baba was writing this. It goes, oh, glorious one of the two worlds. Excuse me. Unequaled, matchless protector of the whole world. Oh, the giver of mercies, the protector of slaves. I have a prayer to be placed at your feet or at the altar where you are, that you may grant me the following things: good thoughts, good words, good deeds, so that I may see you, I may feel you to the extent of your perfection. I may realize you as you are.
Oh, that's
Meher Baba.
wow. Wow. Dinku, is that familiar at all? There's a little bit like the 101 names of God, a few of those names.
Well, what struck me was the good thoughts, good words, good deeds, which are the basic tenets of our religion.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Thank you, Marilyn. Oh, very
Well, you
special.
know, also, I know this isn't along with the quotes, but last night for the New Year's celebration, which I hadn't attended in a long time since the pandemic, they showed a film called The Highest of the High, which was done by Peter Nordine and shown, I think, for the first time. It was done August of 2022. It was very lovely. Very lovely. He did a great job and read the whole Highest of the High. It's funny, I was just finishing that up on the Baba Zoom. So anyway, and then O Pravartigar was played. Thanks, Betty. Thanks, everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you, Marilyn.
Happy New Year.
All right. Well,
Thank you, Betty. Thank
oh,
you, Betty.
thank you. You're just a vision there in the meadow.
Thank you, Betty.
Thank you, Betty. Such a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody. Happy New Year. Avatar Meher Baba.
Love you guys. Love you, Betty.
Thank you.
Jay Baba, Happy New Year, all.
Jay Baba.
Happy New Year, Terry.
You know, there is Jamie, there's a concert today.
Diane.
Oh, that's true. Thanks for the reminder, Betty.
It goes on.
I know.
All right.